The saguaro is an arborescent cactus species in the monotypic genus Carnegiea, which can grow to be over 70 feet tall. It is native to the Sonoran Desert in Arizona, the Mexican State of Sonora, and the Whipple Mountains and Imperial County areas of California. The saguaro blossom is the state wildflower of Arizona. Its scientific name is given in honor of Andrew Carnegie. The common name saguaro came into the English language through the Spanish language, originating in the Mayo language. Growth. Saguaros have a relatively long lifespan. They may grow the first side arm any time from 75 to 100 years of age, but some never grow one at all. A saguaro without arms is called a spear. The arms are grown to increase the plant's reproductive capacity. The growth rate of saguaros is strongly dependent on precipitation. Saguaros in dry western Arizona grow only half as fast as those in and around Tucson, Arizona. Saguaros grow slowly from seed, never from cuttings. Specimens may live for more than 150 years and grow to be over 40 feet tall. The largest known living saguaro is the champion saguaro growing in Maricopa County, Arizona, and is 13.8 meters tall with a girth of 3.1 meters. The tallest saguaro ever measured was an armless specimen found near Cave Creek, Arizona. It measured 78 feet tall before it blew over in a windstorm in 1986. Saguaros soak up the rainwater and visibly expand. They conserve the water and slowly consume it. Genome. The saguaro genome is around 1.5 billion base pairs long. Sequencing has revealed that the genome of the saguaro's chloroplast is the smallest known among non-parasitic flowering plants. Spines. The spines on a saguaro, less than 2 meters in height, rapidly grow up to a millimeter per day. When held up to the light are bisected, alternating light and dark bands transverse to the long axis of spines can be seen. These transverse bands have been correlated to daily growth. In columnar cacti, spines almost always grow in areoles which originate at the apex of the plant. A spine stops growing in its first season. Areoles are moved to the side and the apex continues to grow upwards. Thus, older spines are towards the base of a columnar cactus and newer spines are near the apex. Studies are underway to examine the relationship of carbon and oxygen isotope ratios in the tissues of spines of an individual to its climate and photosynthetic history. Flowers. Flowers appear in April through June. They are white and open well after sunset and close in mid-afternoon. They continue to produce nectar after sunrise. Flowers are self-incompatible, thus require cross-pollination. Large quantities of pollen are required for complete pollination because many ovules are present. A well-pollinated fruit contains several thousand tiny seeds. Saguaros have a redundant pollination system, i.e., full fruit set is possible even if only a fraction of the pollinating species are present. Main pollinators are honeybees, bats, and white-winged doves. In most years, diurnal visitors are the main contributors for fruit, most of them honeybees. Other diurnal pollinators are birds such as Costa's hummingbird, the black-chinned hummingbird, the broad-billed hummingbird, the hooded oriole, Scott's oriole, the Gila woodpecker, the gilded flicker, the verdin, and the house finch. The main nocturnal pollinator is the lesser long-nosed bat, feeding on the nectar. A number of floral characteristics are geared toward bat pollination. Nocturnal opening of the flowers, nocturnal maturation of pollen, very rich nectar, position high above ground, durable blooms that can withstand a bat's weight, and fragrance emitted at night. Further, the amino acids in the pollen appear to help sustain lactation in bats. Fruit. The ruby red fruits are 6 to 9 centimeters long and ripen in June. Each fruit contains around 2,000 seeds plus sweet fleshy connective tissue. The fruits are edible and prized by local people. The fruits cannot be picked by hand, but must be harvested using a pole 2 to 5 meters long, to the end of which is attached another pole. The O'odham tribes have a long history of saguaro fruit use. The To'ono-O'odham tribes celebrate the beginning of the summer growing season with a ceremony using a fermented drink made from the bright red fruit to summon rains, vital for the crops. Nests. Native birds such as Gila woodpeckers, purple martins, house finches, and gilded flickers live inside holes in saguaros. Flickers excavate larger holes higher on the stem. The nest cavity is deep, and the parents and young are entirely hidden from view. The saguaro creates callus tissue on the wound. When the saguaro dies and its soft flesh rots, the callus remains as a so-called saguaro boot, which was used by natives for storage. The Gila woodpeckers create new nest holes each season rather than reuse the old ones, leaving convenient nest holes for other animals, such as elf-owls, flycatchers, and wrens. In recent years, early breeding, aggressive non-native birds have taken over the nest to the detriment of elf-owls that breed and nest later. Laws. Harming a saguaro in any manner, including cactus plugging, is illegal by state law in Arizona, and when houses or highways are built, special permits must be obtained to move or destroy any saguaro affected. Exceptions to this general understanding exist. For example, a private landowner whose property is 10 acres or less, where the initial construction has already occurred, may remove a saguaro from the property. This is common when the cactus falls over in a storm, its location interferes with the house addition, or it becomes a potential hazard to humans. Ethnobotany. The saguaro is an important source of food and shelter for the To'ono-O'odham. Saguaro spines are sometimes used as sewing needles, and the ribs are used to make harvesting tools. The ribs of the saguaro were used for construction and other purposes by Native Americans. A fine example can be seen in the roofing of the cloisters of the Mission San Xavier del Bac on the To'ono-O'odham lands near Tucson. The Seri people of northwestern Mexico used the plant, which they call mojepe, for a number of purposes. Location. The saguaro is often used as an emblem in commercials and logos that attempt to convey a sense of the Southwest, even if the product has no connection to Arizona of the Sonoran Desert. For instance, no naturally occurring saguaros are found within 250 miles of El Paso, Texas, but the silhouette is found on the label of old El Paso brand products. Though the geographic anomaly has lessened in recent years, Western films once enthusiastically placed saguaros in Monument Valley of Arizona, as well as New Mexico, Utah, and Texas. The Dallas, Texas-based band Reverend Horton Heat pokes fun at this phenomenon in the song "Ain't No Saguaro in Texas." No wild saguaros are found anywhere in New Mexico, Texas, Colorado, Utah, or Nevada, nor in the high deserts of northern Arizona. Saguaro Gallery. Bibliography. Benson, L. The Cacti of Arizona. University of Arizona Press. ISBN 0816505098. Felger, Richard. Mary B. Moser. People of the Desert and Sea. Ethnobotany of the Seri Indians. Tucson, University of Arizona Press. Dresner T.D. Saguaro growth rate over its American range and the link to summer precipitation. Southwest Nat 50 to 65-68.